So, quote, there's a lot of talk about Biden's son, that Biden stopped the prosecution of the Burisma owner, Nikolai Zlochevsky. And a lot of people want to find out about that. So whatever you can do with the AG would be great. That's what Trump said to Zelensky. So he's essentially looking into what's going on with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, and then what did they do? They started with this impeachment with Trump. The FBI had a physical office built in the Ukraine.
Wow.
This call is from a federal prison.
I don't know if people know that either. The FBI had a physical office built in the Ukraine. It's located within Ukraine's National Anti-Corruption Bureau. It's been there since June of 2016. This was under Obama while Joe was still the vice president. Joe Biden, as VP, demanded the removal of Ukraine's prosecutor Viktor Shokin by Petro Poroshenko, who was at the time Ukraine's president and whose child actually was the goddaughter to Putin, as a side note. So there was good relations there before Zelensky got in there.
Yeah.
Joe Biden famously bragged about this in a conference in 2019. Quote, Petro, you're not getting your $1 billion. It's okay. You can keep your prosecutor general. Just understand, we're not paying you if you do. You see, Shokin was brought out of retirement to clean up the corruption in the Ukraine's prosecutor's office and was doing an excellent job, I guess. I have this from a note back in from September 7th, 2022, from the Epic Times. If you guys don't subscribe to this newspaper, I think you should. It's EPOCH Times. That was from page 113. Anyways, with the help of the FBI, Joe Biden leveraged $1 billion in U.S. taxpayer loan guarantees.
Wow.
And where is the White House press? I understand that there's Karine Jean-Pierre, we don't trust her, and she's lying and lying and lying every day. And she knows what's going on. She's evil. 12 to 1 Democrats versus Republican in that press. For every one Republican that might want to ask a good question that we want to ask, there's 12 Democrats in there. So that's not fair.
Yeah, at least, if not higher. I knew the ratio was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The phone is beeping. My 15 minutes is about up, guys. I did make it a little bit farther into my notes, but I have a couple more pages, so maybe next week, if everybody wants to listen, I'll try to get a little further into my notes. But of course, there's going to be a lot of corruption to add from now on to then. So I wish everybody a good day.
Oh, cut him off. Okay, so we're having trouble with the internet connection.
Yeah.
It must not be strong enough.
My live stream already restarted once.
Is your live stream doing okay?
No, I restarted because the Wi-Fi problem.
Yeah, I've only got two bars here now. So I'm wondering if we should just go to Rebecca's live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, where I hold it there, it gets 4 bars. That's weird. Well, I'm going to hold it. Do you want to take the next call?
Sure, I'll take the next call.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
I'll put this over here so I can hold it. See, now I don't know whether to send Daniel's letter or not.
Yeah. Rebecca, people are asking if you have a better connection.
Yes, right now it's fine.
Oh, here it is.
They say it's churning again though.
Really?
Yeah.
I see the number, see? It's a full bars.
Yes, she does. People can go to her.
So they're going to put your link on this somehow.
No, I use this. I have 2 phones. I use this.
Hello?
Okay.
Wi-Fi. Use that one.
Accept the call.
This is what I'm getting on your channel right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Kelly.
This call will be recorded and
I jumped out and came back in. I was working briefly and then
To accept this call, press 5. To block this
So,
call and all future
do you guys like
calls,
move a
press 7.
couple feet sometimes and it gets better? Or?
Yeah, I just moved
Okay.
from here, moved to here.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Kelly. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good. It's good to talk to you.
Oh, it's nice to talk to everybody out there. I don't know how many people are out there. A couple thousand, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, right. Physically, there's 4 of us tonight. There's Roy and Steve, and this is Tina, and Rebecca's here. She came up. She's live streaming. She came up from Virginia.
Okay, I got
Awesome. Well, we
Yeah.
appreciate it.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's an honor to be able to stand out here for you guys.
Well, we certainly appreciate it more than you know. The only bad thing is, like, here, the one difference from D.C. to here, to be quite honest with you, is that in D.C. you can kind of peek out a corner of the window and see people out there.
Yeah.
But you can't see much. So it's not that big of a deal. We're not missing too much, although we would like to be able to see you guys, that's
Right.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, we wish you guys could see us too. We could see you.
But I'll be honest with you, I will forgo that based on the amenities of this facility. So I can tell you that. I know that most of the people out there are local, they said tonight. So.
Yep.
But if I've got to be somewhere, I certainly like it here. This is pro just intentionally.
Yes.
When Marjorie Taylor Greene was coming, she wanted to talk to the people that didn't have any violent charges. So they moved those people out.
Right.
And if it, they keep telling us in court that this isn't political, don't say it's political because it's not. Then why did you move us? Why were we moved when congressmen said they were going to come to talk to the people that didn't have violent charges?
Right.
And now all of a sudden you're going to move me back 2 weeks prior to sentencing instead of, like most people, they go the day of or a couple days before.
Right.
So who knows why they do the things they do, but it certainly is, it's a little bit eye-opening to the whole process, that's for sure.
No,
So-
I've been working with a representative from Pennsylvania who actually the prison is in her district. But now if you guys are leaving, I don't know how that's going to play out, but she really wants to come in and see you.
Oh, well, she's not going to have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But there'll be guys here she can come see, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she wants to come in and see as many as she can.
Well, I mean, the biggest issue, right now in our trial, on our case, all we're going to be fighting right now is constitutionality of it. They're putting a bunch of enhancements on our case for that. First of all, they've said that Congress's meeting that day was an official proceeding. And I don't disagree with them in that. It is technically an official proceeding. However, the obstruction of justice charge should apply to only courts. But being that they use the terminology official proceeding, all of the judges have ruled that, hey, this was indeed an official proceeding. Okay, I'll give you that. But now they're trying to add 11 points of an administration of justice enhancement, which does not apply to an official proceeding. Administration of justice based on the separation of powers in our government goes to the judiciary branch, not the legislative branch. Therefore, Congress has the judicial power, so they cannot administer justice.
Okay.
Black's Law Dictionary, the word court strictly says a place where justice is administered. So they're trying to use their own favor in these sentencing enhancements. And we are prepared to take it to the Supreme Court because it's a massive difference. It's a difference from being at 4 years to being up to 11 to 13 years.
Right.
So if you're looking at 41 to 51 months and you've already done 28, it does, it's a much better scenario than if you're looking at another, 7 or 8 years. So obviously that's what our fight is right now. Not that the entire thing isn't unconstitutional, what they've done to us, just because they're using our free speech against us in this. Prosecution said that there was no planning. We have their emails where they were texting back and forth that there was no planning done, but yet they're still charging us with conspiracies and all these different things because they can get away with it, and that's what they did. So they utilized our rhetoric, which I will say, some of it wasn't exactly flattering, when you put it on the screen in a courtroom, but at the same time, it was a bunch of guys talking about their unhappiness with the current situation. So
This call is from a federal prison.
None of it said anything about doing anything at Capitol, or nothing said anything about the government or anything like that, other than we just weren't happy with the politicians. And that's really what they tried to use to say we were angry enough to try to do something. And that's not true at all.
Yeah.
So,
and did they take a lot of that out of context too?
yeah, what they did was basically they used text messages. Let's put it this way. They had over 40,000 text messages. Okay?
Yeah.
From those 40,000 text messages, they probably showed about 100, maybe 120 of them, 130 max.
Uh-huh.
Over the course of 4 or 5 months. And they kind of made them fit together. Like, they would use this, you're going to talk to Stuart later. They would use me messaging Stuart in November and then put that same thing with his response from January. Yeah. And say, see, Stuart told him this. And they move so quickly through the slides that it paints this picture. And if you're not paying attention to the date and the time and things like that, it slides right through.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of that stuff that they do. We had a situation where we had an officer that came in and said he physically saw me confronting another officer, yelling at him. And then I found the video that he wasn't even in that area. He was somewhere else, and I proved it. Well, at the end of my trial, when they did the closing arguments, they still brought it up and said, this officer saw Mr. Meigs with, in front of the officer. And I was like, we proved that wasn't the fact, and you're still showing it. So they get away with murder, and unfortunately, it's been allowed to happen. So, for us, it's just, they're going to get their headline, and then we'll go through the appeals process, and hopefully we can get justice in the end.
Yeah.
That's all we can ask for.
Yeah.
I certainly don't want to depend on my freedom in anyone else's hands, although I know we've gotten some guarantees in the background if certain things happen certain ways, but I would rather just be done with it and get back home to my family more than anything else.
Absolutely. Can't want anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I am short on time just because I've only got a few more minutes. I reset in a couple days, so I want to just thank you guys for coming out. It's really awesome just to have the support there, even though I know we can't see you. We know you're there, and it is so crucial. We just thank everybody, especially just, the community here for reaching out to us and coming out and doing those things. We really do appreciate it. And we thank you all very much, and just God bless everybody.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome. It's our honor and privilege to be able to do it.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You see the phone? I think it's logged onto those. I think that's sucking down our bandwidth. I'll kill my Wi-Fi real quick. That may be a problem. Yep, it's on. Okay. I wonder if it'll get better now. You mind taking the next one, and I'll keep mine.
So where's the signal going out from? This thing or
This
that?
right here.
That right there.
My phone was logged onto it too. I didn't realize that. So that.
Okay,
So
and you
that
were
might-
holding
He
that
took
up
his
here.
phone off of that.
I was trying. Yeah. Now it's only the computer logged onto it. So that will help. I don't know how much.
So
it
we
will.
might
But
have
the
to
call will still be able to
restart.
come through the phone and be registered, right?
Pardon me.
We'll still get the call through the phone.
Oh yes,
and
yes.
register. Okay.
Yeah, because that's not using the data. You're saying we need a restart, Steve?
Maybe.
Okay.
That's what. It's not working for me either.
You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Andrew talking.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time.
To accept this call, press 5. To block the...
You may begin speaking now.
Hey, Roy, how's it going?
Hey, Andrew, this is Tina.
Oh, hey, Tina, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well.
Yeah, Roy's right here, too.
I'm here too, but Tina's handling the calls for now. I'm trying to work technical stuff.
All right, cool. Tina, did you happen to see my email request?
Yes, and I've been trying to accept it, but with the way the email came across, I can't find any way to access a link to put the acceptance in.
I'll delete it and re-add it again, so just look for it maybe
Okay.
Monday or something. I don't know. Check. It might go through instant, but ours, they hold all of our messages, so I don't know if it's going to hold that for a while too, but I'll try again.
But yeah, I did initially get the email. I was trying all night last night, getting totally frustrated.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Sometimes the link doesn't work. So.
Okay.
But,
All right.
all right. How is everybody? What kind of crowd do we got out
Well,
there?
we have we have 4 out here tonight. Roy and Steve are here. I'm here, and then Rebecca, who came in from New Jersey, not New Jersey, from Virginia to live stream for us.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah. So.
Thanks everybody for being out there.
You're welcome.
Before I forget, Happy Mother's Day tomorrow to you mothers out there.
Thank you.
Hey, mothers.
Yep. Just one more thing that we see time and time again. Sitting around watching PBS the other day, and what do we see? An advertisement for a hour-long special hit piece on Clarence Thomas and Jenny Thomas.
Yeah.
Using our tax dollars to actually push your propaganda and try and break down the actual peaceful existence of us in society. You always want to use tax dollars with NPR, PBS to try and drum up drama, spread your lies in propaganda, and try and destroy what we have going. Just find it amazing that people have not stood up and made a bigger deal about that and sit there and, they support the stuff and, it's okay because they show Sesame Street or they show Arthur or they show Bob Ross reruns or whatever.
Yeah.
I think people should be more up in arms over your tax dollars going to support one party's ideas and narrative.
So silly for him.
Yeah, and I think it's because
who is
people have
in
been listening
DC
to the
right
wrong
now?
stuff for decades. That's not. It
Really?
doesn't dawn on them that that's what's
Haven't
happening.
they said truth yet?
Yeah. I don't know how large this PBS crowd would be that would actually watch this.
How
Not
will
sure.
glory be?
But CNN even pointed to it. I had CNN on last night, and they even said hey, don't forget to check this out. Like, so CNN's cross-promoting for PBS now, too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
And this area in Pennsylvania is a real big PBS area. Out of Wilkes-Barre and Scranton, it's a big PBS area.
Well, yeah, that's not a good thing.
Nope.
So not a whole lot more new going on with me. My lawyer said they finally did find a doctor. It seems like the judge making them feel retarded for not doing that over the last several months when they kind of said they were going to. Might have actually kicked them into gear to finally got one. Hopefully we'll have a meeting set up with said doctor to actually allow him to look at my records and then also have a video visit with me so he can actually physically diagnose some of my ailments that have been created by this doctor here. Don't tell what's going to happen with court, though, when we go back on the 31st, though. Still, I don't believe the judge is going to do anything for me on the medical stuff. At this point, I think my best hope is just, him seeing the severity of the lack of treatment, of the side effects from that, and maybe he will want to get me home sooner so I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
Seems like no matter what I do here, the doctor outright lies about stuff. I fill out a grievance.
This call is from a federal prison.
I think I made it known a few weeks ago that they had shot me up with a tranny's estrogen and then tried to explain it away like it was no big deal. It's fine. You'll be okay. But then they didn't want to do a blood panel to show how bad they screwed me up because they didn't want a secondary record or a record to actually back up the horrible treatment that I'm getting here. So then, I complain about side effects and I fill out a grievance and they say, you didn't complain about side effects. I literally have a request form where I complained about multiple side effects and then you tell me that there's no clinical value in treating these side effects. Well, then why would a man start having physical features grow on his body that should not be there if there's no clinical value in treating them? If it's something that a man doesn't normally have, wouldn't you say that there would be some clinical value in taking care of the stuff?
Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully karma will take care of the people that are not treating detainees and prisoners right. I in other facilities that are going through the same thing or worse, with some form or fashion, with some doctor that thinks they're the smartest, greatest thing in the world, who won't listen to anybody else, who won't listen to a patient. You know, hopefully, if God can't change their minds, fight them all. You know, at some point, he can't fix them. You know, he just needs to call them home, maybe. But yeah. So other than that, not a whole lot going on here. You know, most of the other guys that are going to come before and after me are going to hit on a lot of the same stuff I was going to talk about anyways. A lot of the corruption, more and more stuff that we find out. They'll have stuff a little bit more in depth, so I will let them speak on that.
Okay.
And cut this short here and let Mr. James Grant get on here after me.
Okay. And I'll look again for another email from you.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll try and get that done as soon as possible. So it could be any time between now and Monday when it shows up. So.
Okay. All right. I'll look for it.
All right, guys. So just in case anybody cares to check out and go see any updates, I do have my Gifts and Go at there. GibsonGo.com/free Andrew Taki. Free Andrew Taki. Last name is spelled Taake. Thank you very much. Once again, happy Mother's Day. God bless everybody out there that's still supporting us. And for you, have a wonderful night outside those walls.
Yep, we will. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
God bless you.
I don't know. This opens up. See how much. I wonder, like in the future, if I could run it.
No tuber tonight.
I've got 3 bars. That's not good. He's only got 2 bars.
No Tammy.
But we can.
Tom.
He said it keeps freezing up.
How about Tom?
But most people have gone over that.
Okay.
So it's good to check.
Oh,
Well,
Glory be.
We,
They are not.
we didn't expect that
Show
this
up.
might run smoothly anyway. Tonight,
That's right.
because we've got,
That's right.
It's just like, it's the first time we've done it.
Yeah.
All this,
Yeah.
all this in a row. I noticed that while I was talking to Andrew, and I couldn't get it up off the ground.
Yeah, the number of bars on the hot spot keep going up and down. So I'm not surprised that it's freezing up sometimes, period. Not sure what you mean by recording it. Sure what you mean by recording it. Oh, you mean on my phone. Can't do that because we're using my phone for the video call, or the audio calls.
Oh, that's great.
You will not be charged for this call.
You want to do this? No, I'll do the next one.
Oh, you can do it.
Okay.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time.
To accept this call, press 5. To block this call, you may...
I did it twice.
Hello.
Hey, James.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up with you?
Nothing. I just got to start off by saying who's actually right next to me right now. But Scooter, Tammy would like to give a shout out. He's not going to be able to make it tonight due to minutes not restriction, but minute issue. So he'd like to say hi.
Okay.
Hey, Scooter.
Hey, Scooter.
I'm sorry, Brian Jackson.
Yeah.
Yep, Brian. Yep.
Tammy's husband.
Yep. Yeah, she's still in Texas as far as I know.
Oh, really? Is that Tina?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Tina, how are things going?
Good. Waiting for Tuesday.
Brian. Oh, yeah?
Yep.
What's happening then?
Well, that's my election day.
Oh, man, already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Everyone vote for Tina. I think she's got it in the bag, but after last time, let's not take any chances. Brian says hi.
Right. Yes, hi, Brian.
Well, we got a great show for you tonight. You know, we got the infamous Stuart Rhodes coming up, and Brandon Fellows, the man who will not take a plea, and Lego Man, Barry. Yeah, we got a good lineup for you guys tonight.
Sounds like it.
Currently on with James Grant, the man up there with Ray Epps, myself, and a couple others, and I don't think anyone's heard anything from that guy for a while, but I don't know how that's going to play into my trial. I think my co-defendant seems to have didn't talk about my case once. So again, I'm still at the start of the whole thing, and
don't think that will.
yeah, and a lot of people have fundraisers going, and I'm still at the start of that too. A man some of you might be familiar with, Randy Ireland, or some of us have dubbed him Rip-Off Randy Ireland. Kind of got away with some of the money, most of the money for my Give Send Go. So I'm working on getting that going. So I can't plug that this week, but you know, with the help of others, I'm gonna try to get that going. But you know, everything's good in here. We're doing better. I think the vibes in here were really bad after the Proud Boy trial. I know they were for me. I was super bummed out. I was like, oh my god. But you know, I think they're a lot better ever since Trump killed it on CNN. I mean, he was so good. He was borderline perfect, and yeah, he was so good. I mean, he's like more. I think I could see. I loved him, but I could see why people didn't like him back in 2000. I could kind of see it if you got off on the wrong foot and just kind of went with it. But I mean, he was likable. He was so good on CNN. And that's an audience that doesn't really get to hear from him a lot. So I thought that was so huge.
Yeah, that's right. They don't broadcast Trump a lot.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
No, they try to take like an out of context snippet and then give you, you know, they just, you know, they don't even like to show him at all because they can't even really take him out of context. So they just say what he said in the most negative way. I mean, we know how they do.
Yep.
But yeah, he was great on that whole thing, and I think leads Biden by like what, 11 plus points or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's probably
I'm a little
more
worried.
It's probably more than that.
Yeah, it probably is now. It was 11 before the debate or the town hall. I mean, I want Biden to run again because people know what 4 years of Biden looks like, and it looks like this. It looks like crap. You know, inflation, the borders literally open and being flooded, and then you got literally World War III brewing every which way. So I want Biden to run. I really want him to run. I think Trump's got the best chance against him. So I'm a little worried about the investigations into Biden. And it kind of worries me because it's like, oh, now you want to investigate Biden? Like, where was this for 4 years? You didn't want to investigate him, and now it's like, I'm worried they may want to take him out so they could put someone else in. But I don't know. I really hope they don't.
Yeah, that's always a possibility, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think they will, but...
This call is from a federal prison.
But yeah, I guess we'll see, you know. But yeah, he did so well at that town hall, and then he says, you know, he's going to pardon the majority of us. So, man, that's good news, and that was a tough stage for him to say that on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So yeah. So, where's everyone from out there?
Well, you know, I'm from Montoursville.
Of course.
Yep. Jericho Steve is here. Roy's here. He's from east down around Lewisburg and that area, and then we have Rebecca, who's doing live stream tonight for us, and she came up from Virginia.
Oh, nice, yeah. Northern Neck left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth on Virginia, but
yep.
but no, I'm sure there's good parts of the Commonwealth of Virginia too. I just haven't seen them.
Yes, there are a few. Yes, there are a few. Well, I have a letter coming in the mail for you.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Yep, I thought I'd be able to get it out today, but I missed the mail going out. It started coming earlier for some reason, I don't know, and I missed it. So I'll put it out Monday.
No worries. Yeah, I had a couple letters coming in, but I made sure to answer yours. Stamps are a little hard to come by right now, but yeah, I'll definitely keep a lookout for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lawyer meeting Monday. Man, this whole experience is so crazy, and yeah, I just think back to it, and you know, the first 13 months in Northern Neck were like a fever dream, a terrible fever dream. I mean, they kept us in terrible conditions, but the fact that we stopped complaining now that we're at like a federal facility, I think reflects the fact that we just wanted some decent treatment. So like the fact that we're not still complaining should show we really were at terrible places.
Yeah.
I mean, Northern Neck, oh my God.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, no, it was bad there, and you know, I'm glad to be here, but not glad to be here, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. If you have to be anywhere, you're glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. My only complaint is the tablets the movies on there are terrible, but we do get tablets at least. But
Yeah.
it's all TV movies, but you know, beggars can't be choosers.
Oh, is there anything else that you want to send out to everybody?
No, I think that's about it. You know, you know, keep praying for us in here. We're trying to get this done, but a lot of guys are facing some tough situations. I know, you know, the old keepers and the Proud Boys are going to be facing some pretty crazy sentencing. And I haven't gone through it yet, but it's pretty crazy that the judge just says a number, and then whatever number that is, that's how many years of your life you lose. Especially for something like this that was, you know, a political protest. But
right.
Oh man, yeah, it's got to be terrifying. I mean, I'm sure my day will come at some point. I mean, it will, but yeah, just pray for those guys. I mean, that's got to be tough, but they're handling their lot very stoically, I got to say, and very admirably. And they're all men I'm proud to be in here with and alongside. So
yeah, well, we certainly are praying for all of you guys. We really are.
This call is from a federal prison.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, your guys' support means everything. You know, we're in here, and I didn't even know that there was this kind of support for like the first 11 months I was in, and then you know, someone turned me on to the mailing projects out there, and you know, the vigils, and they help a lot. It really helps to know we have support, and you know, hearing people talk about us in a good light is really nice. So I just want to thank everyone for your support. It really does make this ordeal a lot easier. And you know, we're getting through this. We're being stoic, and you know, we're handling this. So we're all going to make it through this. And although, you know, some of us haven't, I believe his name was Matthew Pernick, you know, committed suicide before he could. I think he was on bond, but you know, just facing the you know, hearing, and they tell you when you first get arrested, oh, you know, 20 years on this count, 20 years on this count.
Oh, yeah.
I had a good, when I was first arrested, the public defender, like, she prepped me and she's like, listen, they're going to say a whole bunch of years. You're not going to get that much time. Just relax. And, you know, they were 20 years max, 20 year max, 20 year max, 6 year max. You know, I think only one was like a misdemeanor. I don't know.
Yeah.
My old lawyer sucked, so I never even had access to my charges. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So your trial isn't until October?
Yeah, not till October. I'm hoping it's not, but I think it is the next biggest one right now, just because of the characters involved and the situation of it. So, oh man, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, we're standing out here behind you guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep,
Hopefully.
And I'll tell you what, there's a whole lot more out here behind you than you guys know.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yep. So
yeah. Well, I think that's my time. I want to thank you guys for showing up, and yeah, please keep the faith and keep praying for us.
Yep.
And yeah.
You guys
All right,
keep
well,
the
thank you,
faith
Tina.
too. Yep, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. Take
Yes.
care, y'all. I love you guys.
Too. Yep, love you too.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. This must be from Diane. She said you're working.
YouTube are working, right?
I don't think so.
I saw that.
She said yours is working. She wants to know if either Steve or I can record. I don't think I record on my phone. It'll use up too much of my battery.
Oh.
My phone's just a Samsung 3. It doesn't have anything.
Ah, I see.
I don't have unlimited data. All right, guys.
You also can use the computer to record it.
but not at the same time that we're doing the YouTube, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I think that was a problem too.
Oh.
Roy wanted to take the next call. He's way over there. There we go. All right, come on, come on, come on, come on. Answer. Answer. Come on. His is different.
Is from
Brandon Fellows.
this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. You may begin speaking now.
Hello, this is Brandon.
Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
Good, how are you? Who's this?
No, this is Tina.
Oh, I thought you were, I thought it was somebody else doing it. It's good to hear your voice.
Yes, you too. Yeah, Roy and Steve are here, but they're over across the road trying to figure out why we can't do the live stream through YouTube. We're having trouble maintaining adequate bars, and it may just be the area where we are.
I see. Okay, no, that's cool. Cool. So I don't really have any much to say. I was just calling in to say, thank you guys for being out there. Yeah, I mean, it's good that we have good weather here. And I'm just, I got my trial coming up in August. I'm not going to be prepared. They're not letting me, get a lot of the discovery that I need. Definitely sucks, but it was definitely good hearing Trump say that he was going to pardon pretty much, it sounds like he's going to pardon most people, but I know that I'll definitely be on that list since I don't have any violent charges if there is any discrepancy. So it was definitely exciting to hear that. So, I mean, this biased jury can do whatever they want, but I mean, I don't care. They're going to waste their money. They're going to waste their time. And, I mean, all they've done is really piss me off. And, yeah, I'm just excited to get out of here and fight against them for real. And I don't mean violently, but yeah, they definitely, if they think that I'm going to be apologetic about the way that they've treated me and that they think I'm just going to go quietly, no, I'm definitely pissed off now. So I'm excited to get out of here. Never should have been in here in the first place. I'm grateful that you guys are supporting us. When I get back to operating my tree company and my chimney company, but it's going to take a bit to build back up. So.
Right. Yeah. But you did it once. You can do it again.
Yep. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, we'll just have to see how all this goes. But I'm definitely not going to apologize for anything. The election was stolen, and they can play that all they want at trial. Honestly, I mean, I really don't care at this point. I mean, I'm past my guideline range, even though I was found guilty of all charges. It's absolutely ridiculous that they've held me in here for no criminal history, and for taking 2 hits of someone else's weed inside a senator's office over 2.5 years, or almost 2.5 years ago.
Right.
So I've honestly lost a lot of respect for the courts, the criminal justice system, and otherwise I'd have it would essentially be Stockholm syndrome, but. Yeah, I'm not honestly in the greatest positive of moods, so I'm sorry. I don't want to bring anybody down with that. But I mean, it's just to a point of where this is absolutely ridiculous at this point. We're well beyond the absolute ridiculous point. And I'm just excited for all the good what I assume is all the good that's going to come, so long as Biden doesn't ruin this country even more to the point of no repair. So I don't know. We'll have to see, but. Regardless, I hope my negativity doesn't kind of bring you guys down. I thank you guys for being out there. We can't all, I'm not all, I like to try to be positive, but yeah, it's just sometimes, irritating when you got family members dying in here and, you're in here for absolutely ridiculous reason. But again, thank you guys for being out there. It definitely helps bring some sanity and some, good feeling for us when we're kind of going through low times. So.
Well, that's what we're out here for.
It appears to be working.
Yeah. Anyhow,
This call is from a federal prison.
yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I appreciate you guys. I want to send somebody else on. So yeah,
Okay.
I normally don't like to talk when I'm not in a super happy mood. So
Understand. Not a problem.
yeah, thank you. All right, have a good night, guys. Thank you again.
Patriot.
God bless you,
Thank
Brandon.
you. Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay,
you
James, I'll do the next one. Give you a break.
James is doing pretty good. His trial's not till October, so he's not going anywhere. Brandon ends in August, so he's not going anywhere.
Tina, do you have unlimited data on your
I
phone?
don't. No. In fact, I'm probably like just borderline my last 10%.
Steve or Tina can't do it.
Well, we got a little break here between phone calls. I wouldn't mind mentioning. Freedom Corner has been going on for over 270 days now, right? All right. Yeah. And that takes a lot of effort from a lot of people. It takes equipment. It takes knowledge. It takes time. It takes money. And you can donate to A4 Justice to keep that going down in D.C. D.C. is not the only place where this fight is happening at. These January 6th prisoners are all over the country in different prisons. Some of them have been sentenced already. They're in Texas, they're in Colorado, Florida. There's a prison there. The Patriot Freedom Project, Patriot Mail Project will clue you into where they are, who's there, what they've been charged with, if they've been charged already. There's a DOJ website that has pending charges and a record of all J6ers that have been prosecuted so far that is available for anybody to look up. There's lots of ways to get information. I didn't find it very easy because I'm not savvy on the computer, but I was able to do it, and we are able to attempt to start up a YouTube channel here. We need more YouTube people. The mainstream media has left us all hanging here. Everyone's dying for news on what's going on at the border, and it isn't on NBC right now. It isn't on CNN right now. The news is on Oreo Express right now and First Responders Media right now. They are down there filming exactly what's going on. And the way you're going to have to get your news now, because you know the mainstream media is lying to you, folks. It's been going on for a long time. We got to get out of our denial and just find other sources for our news and stop scoffing at people that make fun of you for not watching the mainstream news. It's not real news. They're making stories up. They're lying directly to you. Our leaders are lying to us. And the only source is a person on the ground where the action is happening. So right now we're on the ground in Lewisburg. There's 18 or 20 guys in this prison right now. Stuart Rhodes is looking at, he was convicted several months ago. He's been waiting on his sentencing, and they're talking about giving this guy 25 years for being at the Capitol on January 6th. This guy stood up for our integrity during the November election, and we just wanted our leaders to take a 10-day look at that problem, and they wouldn't even do that. So we had there was a couple over 100 of them wanted to take the 10-day pause, which is in the rule book, it's in the Constitution. That's what they're supposed to do if somebody senses that there was something wrong with that election. They did not do that. And then J6 was a setup. There's all kinds of evidence on that out there now. If you just skip one football game and spend that amount of time looking up J6 videos, you're going to find what happened there. Thanks for being here, Patriots.
Press 5. To block this call, you may begin speaking now.
Hello, is this Roy?
This is Roy. Hello, Stuart.
Hey, how are you doing, Roy?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Not bad under the circumstances, doing all right.
I hear you're going
Who's out there with you?
I've got myself, Tina, Steve, and Rebecca from Virginia.
Oh, well, tell them all thank you for coming out. Appreciate it.
I hear you're
What
going
were you
to
saying?
You're going to be moving soon. Do I understand that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we're being sentenced. Us Oath Keepers are being sentenced on May 25th. So we're being taken back towards D.C. We don't know where to exactly, but that's why they're doing that.
Yeah.
Then after that, we'll go wherever
talking?
we're going.
Who's talking?
So yes, that's a fact.
Yeah, so
Who is
we'll...
talking? Who is talking?
Stuart.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I was going to say, we'll miss you here, we'll miss talking to you, but the place you really need to be is home with your family. But may God
Right.
guide you and bless you with a good place wherever the next stop is.
Right. Well, I mean,
have no illusions about the outcome. So we're political prisoners, and we know that this is all part of the agenda to maximize J6 and turn it essentially into the Reichstag fire, American style. So the Reichstag fire, 1933, is when the German Parliament burned to the ground, and that was, of course, blamed on the communists, and the Nazis used that as their excuse to set aside civil liberties and begin to persecute all political opponents, not just communists. Historians now believe that the Nazis set it to themselves to give themselves a justification. And so that's what's going on with January 6th. So you're doing the same thing with January 6th. There was no insurrection that day. That was a protest against an unlawful and unconstitutional election. That's the thing I want to stress to people, is that you had a legitimate grievance on January 6th, and you still do. We still have a constitutional crisis. That's the one thing I would say about President Trump's CNN town hall. He did a fantastic job, except that when she kept on hammering him and saying that there was no fraud, he should have said, actually, they broke state law, they violated state law in the name of COVID, they just set it aside and arbitrarily made up new rules not passed by the legislature. And that violated Article 2, which mandates that the legislature shall determine the manner in which the electors are selected. So he should have said this is illegal and unconstitutional, and yes, it was fraudulent. The thing is, when you destroy and violate the laws that are meant to expose fraud, it makes it much more difficult to detect and expose it when you destroy the laws that are the ability to track it. That's what he should have said. So I would encourage those out there who have any kind of in touch with him to just emphasize that he should, very much like he did on his statement that he gave after he was indicted in New York. He did talk about the illegality and constitutionality. He needs to do the exact same thing anytime any of these moderators pressure him.
Absolutely, yes. I've sent some messages to President Trump already, but of course, I'm sure he gets more than so.
Right.
You never know if he reads them or not, but it's worth a try. It is.
It's like Horton Hears a Who, But no, I think really, if he only did what he did the night he was indicted in New York, the first one over the nonsense record keeping thing, I think that statement was fantastic. He touched on it very quickly, that it violated state law, that made it unconstitutional. But whoever's prepping him for his debates and town halls and speeches now should be, making sure he hits those points, because that's a big lie. They always come back with, there was no fraud was proven, and there was no fraud. And all the courts ruled against you. The Supreme Court of the United States did not take that case. They were supposed to, under their original jurisdiction, when Texas sued Pennsylvania. That's original jurisdiction. They're the trial court. And I think 20 other states joined in with Texas. It was going to be like Bush v. Gore was.
This call is from a federal prison.
The case to decide the election. And unfortunately, though, the Supreme Court of the United States, unlike in Bush v. Gore, did not do its duty and ducked its own jurisdiction and just declined to take it.
They just punted.
Yeah,
they were scared.
Pardon?
It seems like they just punted because they were afraid.
Possibly, but that's not what their oath says. Their oath doesn't say support and defend the Constitution unless I'm scared. Just like mine didn't say that when I was a paratrooper.
Absolutely.
So there's no excuse. And Alito and Thomas, to their credit, and this is part of the reason why they're going after Thomas heavily, is they said, hey, hold on a second. This is under our original jurisdiction. We have no discretion to not hear this case. We are the trial court. We're not the appellate court when the state sues another state. We're the trial court. And there's no other court to hear it. So, but unfortunately, they threw us into this constitutional crisis. We're still there. But I think it's important for us to recognize where we are. Frankly, this is a worldwide fight between communism, totalitarian, if you can call it, Mussolini-style corporate fascism on one side. That's what China's like now. It's like a merger between communism and Mussolini-style fascism, which is no surprise. It's all totalitarian. This is a worldwide fight. This is a worldwide communist takeover across the planet. In Brazil, in France, in Canada, in New Zealand, you see it over and over again. Fights in Italy. It's everywhere in the West. They're trying to destroy the Western countries from the inside out. That's what's happening.
I couldn't agree more. And may God help us and be with us, help all of us to be on our toes, to be aware, to do the very best we can you know, may he guide us, because, you know, the task is overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. And for me, you know, of course, I'm a strong Christian. We do Christian Bible study every night here at 7 p.m. And of course, in the end, it's up to God, and we rely on Him to strengthen us so that we can persevere. You know, so at the end, we could say we ran the race, you know, and we fought the good fight, like Paul said. Amen. But I also looked at Solzhenitsyn as a model for a political prisoner who, in the end, this is the famous Soviet dissident, he helped destroy the Soviet Union in the end, take down the evil empire by exposing it when he wrote the Gulag Archipelago. But I wrote a really awesome essay I encourage you all to go read called Live Not by Lies. He wrote that in 1974 when he was still living in the Soviet Union. And in it he says that the regime relies on lies. It demands from us only obedience to lies and daily participation in lies. All loyalty lies in that. And he said, and that's the first key to self-liberation, personal non-participation in lies. Though lies conceal everything, though lies embrace everything, we'll be obstinate in the smallest of matters. Let them embrace everything, but not with any help from me. That's the easiest thing to do, the most devastating for the lies, because when people renounce lies, it simply cuts short their existence. Like an infection, they can exist only in a living organism. So let us refuse to say that which we do not think. The first step. So the next step, of course, is to speak truth to power. And that's why I commend President Trump, because he continues to stick to his guns. The 2020 election was stolen. He is correct. And yet, you still see the lies. So it's like a drumbeat, constant drumbeat of telling you a big, massive lie, gaslighting, and its projection. They're the ones who committed insurrection. That election was a coup. So it's important for all of us to make sure we speak the truth, and we demand that of anyone in a leadership position.
Absolutely, Stuart. That was well said. I have read that essay by Solzhenitsyn. I would encourage everyone to read it because it's short, but it's powerful. And if I remember, he goes on to say certain things that, you know, you might not have the strength to stand up and openly oppose the regime, but you can refuse to go along with them. He listed a whole bunch of simple ways. And
yes. That's right. So even under an oppressive regime, that's why it was his first step. Just don't participate. Because if they spoke out, they would be sent to the gulag, but just don't participate. Silent non-participation. You know, basically silent civil disobedience without even speaking. But yes, we're not quite there yet. I encourage Americans to still use their voice, although they are trying to criminalize free speech. In my case, in the case of the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, they demonized us and put us in prison basically for our free speech. And that's what they're going to keep doing, and they're going to indict President Trump. It's coming. Everyone needs to get ready for that. Get your minds and your hearts and your spirits ready for that fight. It's coming. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. That's the whole point of magnifying the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys into the boogeyman that they made us into, which we did nothing on that day that was actually illegal.
Every single one of you has been found guilty, if I understand right.
Oh, of course. In front of a D.C. jury, they can find a MAGA hat guilty. You're never going to get a fair share. Yeah, you know, like the old saying that a grand jury won't doubt a ham sandwich. Well, a D.C. jury, a trial jury, will find a MAGA hat guilty because you're MAGA. Because Orange Man bad. You know, so you're not going to get a fair trial. It's like two Americas. There's the Constitutional Republic America, and there's the Communist America. And D.C. is the capital of Communist America. President Trump said that New York City is probably the worst place for a Trump supporter to be on trial. Is incorrect. D.C. is actually the worst place.
Yeah. With New York probably following second.
This call is from a federal prison.
Pardon?
With New York or California following second, yeah.
Oh, sure. Well, anywhere, my point is that anywhere there's a leftist enclave, you're never going to get a fair trial. Your free speech is considered a crime. Everything that you believe in, your lawful gun possession is considered a crime. All the things that you believe in, your Christianity is considered a crime. You're considered a criminal because of who you are. It's an identity crime. You know, it's the old Soviet saying, well, show me the man, I'll show you the crime.
Yes.
That's how it is now. So if you're a Trump supporter, you're automatically guilty. They just haggle over what they're going to nail you with. But you're going to get nailed with something. And the same goes for President Trump. So just get ready for it. You know, make sure that we have our hearts and minds prepared for that.
Absolutely. It's important to prepare the hearts and minds. That way it doesn't take you by surprise. You're less likely to do or say foolish things, but to do things that count.
Right. But here's the thing, though, is that there's still 100 million of us that are no longer susceptible to their brainwashing. That's why all they can do now is try to intimidate and suppress us. Don't let them do that to you. Make sure you all stand up. Make sure you show courage. And like Solzhenitsyn was saying, he does give a really good list of things you can do. And those are meant to strengthen people and get them to start exercising their courage muscles, their resolve. And the same goes for you. Make sure that you have small victories every day, the things that you stand up and what do the bad guys not want me to do today? Go do that thing.
Yeah, amen.
Go. That's right. Yeah, don't let them cower you. So that's what they're trying to do. And of course, they'll send out their snitches, they'll send out their infiltrators and provocateurs. Just be wise as serpents and aware of the traps. Just be aware they'll be sending out moles. Expect them. They're going to be there. There's going to be infiltrators. There'll be undercover agents, not just from the FBI, but also from DHS.
Oh yeah.
So, but let's make sure that everything you do is above reproach. But just understand that the broader MAGA movement, more of you will be going to prison. It's not going to stop here. It's going to keep going. Just understand that and be courageous. When someone gets arrested, don't desert them. Come to their aid and circle up and lock shields. Make sure that you stand up for them and support them. So, yeah. All right, brother, I'll let you go. You guys have a good night, and God bless all of you, and thank you for your support. Appreciate you all, okay?
Yeah,
As
you
always,
too, Stuart.
Great talking with you, Stuart.
All right, God bless. Bye.
God bless.
That was Stuart Rhodes, sounding pretty good, doing his Bible studies. I wonder what he's studying about right now. Always like to know what people are studying at the time. But that is one way to keep your head on straight, folks. Get into the scriptures. God gave, that's the instruction manual for life right here. Unfortunately, Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and we got to know evil. And evil is here to wake us up and get us moving here. We've let our country go too far, folks. It's been happening in small increments for as long as I've been alive. Kennedy was, the information's out about Robert Kennedy. They tried to seal the information for 50 years. That's been released. Joe Biden has not allowed some of that information to be released now. It's a known fact that Lee Harvey Oswald was an associate of the CIA at the time. It's shocking, people. You want your eyes open? Check out what Robert Kennedy Jr. is saying. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is saying right now. He's running for, or he's looking to run for the Democrat nomination in the presidential election, but he is all over Anthony Fauci, the CIA. They murdered his uncle, his dad. I think he's been waiting for a long time to come out with some information and get things done. We got to do some things with the government. Kevin McCarthy, you're in charge, man. You're in charge right now, man. You told us you were going to release the January 6th videos. You gave Tucker Carlson access to those videos. He made one video of one J6er. And look what happened. He's gotten taken out of prison now. He's in a halfway house. And the American people got to see the evidence for one of these prosecutions. That's it. And it was overturned. So Kevin McCarthy, we need access to that footage right now. What are you waiting for? It's been 100 days. It's been more than 100 days for you. You said when we were electing you, how many times did they vote there, Tina? Like 9 times to put him in the House Speaker position? And he said he was going to release that video footage. And we want it now, Kevin McCarthy. We want you to shut down the FBI. You know they're corrupting our investigations. You know they're investigating one side, and one side only. And the other side gets let go scot-free, man. You need to defund it. You hold the purse strings to keep that operation going. You need to do something and stop talking and do some action, man. We're tired of the Republican game here. Tired of it. It's got to end. We've been stringing along. Ever the Trey Gowdy and the Benghazi hearings. Yeah, Hillary smashed her her computers and erased her emails and stuff. 33,000 emails she had while Secretary of State. Trey Gowdy's right there investigating the whole thing. What happened? Nothing. Nothing happened on that. We're tired of this Republican show, man. Democrats, they go and they stir the bucket up, and the Republicans just talk about it all the time. We are tired of that. Republicans, you got to get your act together. You got to get on the fence or get off the fence with Trump right now. You know he's the only guy that's going to get anything done in this. And the elections are still rigged, you know? And we go through all this, and they're still not taken care of, man. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court changed our election laws during COVID illegally, like Stuart was saying. The legislature's supposed to do that. And the election was thrown in Pennsylvania. Then, a year later, the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania decided to have a hearing on that, and they admitted they were not allowed to change the law there. But instead of correcting the problem, they said, oh, we just won't do that again. That is malarkey, folks. That is not a government that you want in charge of you. And if we don't have elections that are valid, that are truthful, we're never going to get these people out. That's how they stay in power. You think people are actually electing Nancy Pelosi? I don't think so, man. Who can honestly put her name on a voting ballot? I don't understand it. So we need action, folks. Lloyd Smucker, you're my guy, man. I've been calling you about J6. It's been 870 days now. When are you going to do something, man? These guys are still in jail without a trial, without bond. This is outrageous, man. I don't know how to put it politely anymore. You got to get off the fence, man. You're the guy we elected to do this, and you've done nothing on that, Lloyd Smucker. You got to get off the fence. Trump is our guy. MAGA is the Republican Party right now. You guys are delusional if you don't think so. So get off the fence, or you're going to get voted out, man. That's all there is to it. We got to get involved with our elections. We got to make sure. We got to watch our elections. You got to work on your elections. All of us work on elections here, just to make sure everything goes clean in our election processes. There's a guy, Howard Richardson. He was working his election in Bucks County, was it? Berks or Bucks County here in Pennsylvania. He witnessed pickup truckloads of ballots coming into his the central counting area at 2 o'clock in the morning, and basically got kicked out of the place. And he was an election official. So what happened to Howard Richardson? He went to J6 to protest the election. They arrested him, and now he's sitting in a jail 20 miles up the street here. They found him guilty. 72-year-old man when he somehow got in an altercation with a cop with a flagpole. And what did he get? 46 months in prison for that. 46 months in prison for a 72-year-old man. So it's outrageous. They just held him in solitary confinement for 8 weeks. Nobody knew where he was. His family didn't know where he was. The way these guys are getting treated in some of these jails are terrible. They're getting tortured. Their food is tainted. The living conditions are horrible. They don't have access to their families. They don't have access to religious services. Several of them still don't have access to bail. They're still waiting for a trial. Every once in a while, they come in and they take all their evidence for their upcoming court cases out of their cell. What are they supposed to do? They got lawyers that are talking them into taking plea bargains because every lawyer in D.C. is in on the game. Every lawyer in D.C. doesn't want to go against any of the judges.
To block this call, you may begin speaking now.
Welcome. How are you doing today?
Hey, Daryl, how are you?
Hey, Daryl.
All right, I'm happy, I'm on it, and I'm ready to go today. And I'm telling you, today has been a beautiful day at the beautiful Lewisburg Federal Penitentiary, and I wonder how it was over there at Lorton. Guys, I gotta tell you, this is a blessing. I mean, to be able to sit back and to look at this country via the corporate media and see what's really going on, it's an amusement. I mean, you look at this country and you say, is that the president of the United States or what? I mean, come on. The president is lost. He's not fighting for the people. He's not fighting for the country. He's not even fighting to protect our own borders. We have a gap, and the gap is very small, and it's called Biden. Yes, it's Biden. But how are you people doing today? I'm glad the listeners are listening, and the people are just happy to hear us, because us January 6ers are still here. We're still fighting for you, and we want the public to know that, you know, we love you as much as you love us, and we want you to always remember that as Americans, we must stand together.
Amen. Absolutely. And we do love you guys. We're thankful for you. We will stand by you as God gives us strength.
Oh, we pray every day. But, you know, today I want to talk about, you know, since we mentioned the corporate media, and I have an interesting take on it. And I was writing this today, and I was going to submit it as an article, but I said, you know, I'm going to use it for the call-in show tonight, because I think it's something that people need to understand. Since the beginning of printed material and distribution of said materials, business, or in terms that we're going to be talking about, corporations have been in charge of what journalists report and report on. This de facto business or corporations have always taken control over journalism, and once one decides to become a journalist, there are only two choices they have to make: to either join the corporate networks or become part of the independent. Corporate means mainstream, while independent means not corporate dictated. And the scary part about that is you have to think about the word corporation and not corporate dictated. Because here's the funny thing that we discover in modern time. Corporations are buying independents and using them as, what would they call them? Sub-corporations. Oh, God, I can't remember the name of it. There was an entity title they gave it. When a corporation from the mainstream purchases a smaller independent corporation, the corporation still maintains the majority hold of their businesses, and they still control, but they, like most corporations, we have a plus side and a minus side, a left and a right, basically. And these corporations attempt to confuse us, the viewers, readers, writers. They could try to confuse us. I stand for one thing. I stand for the truth. And in all honesty, the truth is what should prevail in all situations. As I look at the news stories today, I'm amazed how journalists, or those talking heads on television, actually put I hate to say, put a little screwdriver in and twist the stories so much. And the interesting thing was that they tried to put a twist on a story about the five guys they had that were Proud Boys. They tried to say, yes, they were, you know, as they stated, seditionists and all this. I'm like, how can they be seditionists when you're an American citizen? It doesn't add up. It doesn't go with the definition. I want the people to know that, no, these people and these humans, let's classify it personally, these humans, these American humans are out there going to trial today and staying in courtrooms and being in jails like this. We're fighting for something that we believe in, just like they believed back in the day at the Boston Tea Party. They believed that they didn't want to be taxed by England. They want to be under the British reign of control. They believed, so they fought against it. What is the difference between what happened on January 6th and what is happening back in those days for Boston Tea Party.
That's right. It's the same
What's the
thing.
difference?
Different venue, that's all.
This call is from a federal prison.
Sorry, I came off with a little bit of fire today because I was a little upset by listening to mainstream media.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's all right, Daryl. That's all right.
So is there any questions you want to ask me? I mean, I'm happy to answer.
Daryl, I never spoke with you before. Are you here awaiting trial, or are you awaiting sentencing? Give us a quick update on your story.
Well, for my story, I was a journalist. I owned Global Enlightenment Radio Network, blacksandwhite.us, and Late Night in the Midlands radio stations. Those networks are all owned by me. I was a journalist, portrayed myself as a journalist, even though I owned all three of them, to go down and report the news story, which was January 6th. I mean, I live in Washington, D.C. Why not go down there and cover the story? Because I've got tired of seeing the news put a spin, always saying Trump this, Trump that. I went to the Trump rally, and I was at the Capitol. I was in the Capitol. I was a journalist in the Capitol. I saw the Associated Press, I saw NPR, and I saw, what's the other newspaper that was there? There was a paper that was there.
Washington
I can't
Post?
remember. No, not the Washington Post. It was one of those leftist papers.
Huffington Post.
Tina said maybe the Huffington Post.
Huffington. Yeah, that's the name, Huffington. Yeah, I saw them there. And I'm going to tell you, I was amazed that I'm the only one they arrested.
Yeah, that's pretty pitiful. I mean, that double standard. Yeah.
Oh, come on, double standard. I mean, excuse me, I'm a man of color. I am a journalist. I own my own businesses. I own my own publishing company. I am a 9 times celebrated author, 3 times New York Times bestseller, and I can't be a journalist. I can't be at the Trump rallies. I can't. This country's messed up. It's messed up from the ideological point of view where they actually stated that, people were all against Trump. No, they were not against Trump. I saw it firsthand. I was at the RNC conference downtown D.C. I did a report there too as well. I saw the street literally go crazy. And I saw the way they attacked senators and representatives of our government. But they didn't go and charge them with any charges of sedition or attacking on a congressional officer or a member of Congress. What happened to that? I was there. I saw that. I was part of trying to stop a bomb from hitting one representative. The fact is simply that America has lost its values. It's lost its heart. It's lost its belief in God.
Well, that's certainly true,
Yeah,
Daryl.
you got that right, Daryl. Oh, man, that's our main problem.
And if we could go back in time, I would do 2 things. I would make sure Joe Biden never runs for political office. And we have more people like Ronald Reagan. I give my man Ronald Reagan double R. I love him to death. I'm a definite Reaganite who's also turned to be a Trump fan.
Amen.
Because I love this man because he fights. He fights a good fight, and he's always in a good fight. And the thing is, he doesn't change his poise, he doesn't change his composure, and he doesn't change his attitude. And he will tell you, you're right, you're wrong, you're nasty or not. In this world so far, I've looked at it. I mean, I was in the military for 15 years. I did reserve another 6 years afterwards. I'm a Mason. I've done everything. I went to St. John College High School in Washington, D.C., graduated from Harvard.
This call is from a federal prison.
PhD in psychology. I've done a lot. My first major was mass media, radio, television, and film at Howard University. I've done a lot. And for me to be in here right now, it upsets me. And it really upsets me to see these proud men in here that really stood up to the left and said, you can't push us around, and you cannot make us bow down to you. It hurts me to see this. But you know something? We're all going to get out of this one day soon. We're all going to have the favors of the Lord upon us.
That's absolutely right.
Amen.
The fact that God has been missing in this whole Biden establishment, it's funny. I don't even see prayer. I don't see anything that deals with Christian values. It's all shot to hell. And I want it back. I want to see this country happy again. I want Easter to be Easter and Christmas to be a day where we had family gatherings, we had worship, we had song, we had cheer. This is what I want. This is the America I see. And it's going to come back. And it only can come back because Donald J. Trump Sr. is in office.
That's right.
And I believe that. But every day, people, I ask of you, every day, get on your knees and pray.
Amen.
I don't care what Lord you pray to, pray for this country. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, we're just saying amen. We pray to the Lord God.
Oh, thank you. Because it's kind of hard for a man to cry in jail, but it hurts when you look at the life that these gentlemen who stood up at January 6th, the way we have to be right now, the way we have to scrounge to get our voices heard, the way we have to shout to be seen on mainstream television. The only thing they care about is, oh yeah, there's another verdict. No, it's not another verdict. It's a bias. It's a lie. This is a fictitious form of government that's being an overlord upon the citizens of this country. The Declaration of Independence says we got our freedom. The U.S. Constitution said that the United States government is not going to impede upon our individual rights. That's the reason for the Constitution, so that the government would not supersede us, the citizen. I hate to say this, but I'm a rally for the people to say, stand for the Supreme Court. I got to say that. Stand for those good men that's sitting there that's trying to change what Biden has done, what the other ones before him have done that have corrupted the system. I wish right now, honestly, that we would have a religious man to run with Trump. Someone that we can actually say, yes, that's a good man of the cloth. We know he's a good man. I would love that. But, you know something? We got to get this country straight before we can do any of that. I mean, sometimes I think maybe we got to get the morals and the ethic codes correct, but to be honest, it's more than that. We got to get the finances of this country so that the people can eat.
Yes, yes.
And we got to get more than anything, we got to get the hearts of these Americans back on track. Go Trump 24. And then we're getting ready to be cut off, but anything you want to ask, I can say it real quick.
Daryl, I'm very impressed with your bio. This is Tina. I'm very, very impressed with your bio. Just an incredible American, and I'm glad I've been able to talk to you tonight.
I think we lost. Oh, shoot. But I think you heard that.
Good,
yeah.
Okay. That's an amazing bio, and to see his picture,
I don't know who he is.
You would not think that he has all this stuff in his background.
I know.
You wouldn't have any idea. He looks like, the guy from next door.
And he's a reporter.
He owned 3 broadcasting companies.
That's right.
He's had 15 years in the military.
Right.
He owned another business. It's just like incredible.
So there you have a patriot. He's a reporter, he's a journalist, he's an educated writer. He was there covering January 6th. They threw him in jail. How come they didn't throw the LA Times guy in jail, whose videos I can find on YouTube? How come they didn't throw the Huffington Post guy in jail who followed everyone into the Capitol and filmed it all? Because they were probably paid to be there. It's the whole thing was a setup, folks. You spend 2 hours looking into this, you're going to find that.
I'll take the next one.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Barry.
How's it going?
Good. How about yourself tonight?
Just living the dream here in USP Lewisburg. Hanging out and having fun, man.
Well, it could be worse. Thankfully, it's not a nightmare.
Yeah, we're out of Northern Neck, so we thank our lucky stars for that.
Yeah.
So, how many listeners you got on the live stream tonight?
My live stream is new. I've only got 10. We had some problems. How many listeners do you have, Rebecca? We've actually got 2 going out here.
It's near 100.
Rebecca's got near 100 going out, but she's the experienced streamer.
Yeah, we love Rebecca. We know about her all very well. It'd be nice to meet her one day and thank her for all her hard work and help and dedication.
Thank you.
So if I had a moment to talk to everyone, the listeners, I would hope that everyone's paying attention to what's going on with Congress and bringing into light the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop and the involvement that Joe Biden has been in receiving all these malicious and fraudulent funds from other countries, using their political favors as a market. We watched in 2020 as Joe Biden got on stage and lied on multiple fronts, but one in particular was that the laptop was Russian disinformation, and it was a load of bull crap. And we now know that what was found on the laptop is 100% true. Just one more thing that the orange man with nasty tweets was right about. It's very important, America, if you're listening out there tonight, that you take the time to educate yourself about what was on that laptop. They did a poll shortly after when it was very clear that Twitter had censored the laptop story from the New York Post, that up to 50% of Biden voters, if they would have known about the contents of that laptop, they wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden. That alone is election interference. You owe it to yourselves in this country to educate yourself about the specifics of what was on that laptop, because one of the best parts about this culture war and this information war that we're in right now is that it does not have to be violent. We the people can actually change the outcome by having civilized, patriotic, and peaceful conversations with moderates, the last remaining 15 real liberals out there, and people that are maybe conservatives that aren't really going for Trump because they've been misled by this communist Marxist media that we have that we're also fighting against. I recommend highly that if you want to put all this information in one little easy to read, easy to follow book, you stop what you're doing right now, order Miranda Devine's A Laptop from Hell. It's a very thin, very easy book, very comprehensible book. It'll explain everything that's in that laptop. And if you're able to have these conversations over the next 8 months with people and show them what was on there and what was lied about, you can turn the tides. You can turn the tides and tip the scales in our favor, because the truth will always win. The truth will always come out. No matter what you say and what you do, even all of us, any of us J6ers that have been dishonest about who we are as people and what our intentions were that day, as you're also seeing, they come to fruition, they come to light. People are now realizing that, there was some bad actors in that group, things that we've always been saying since the beginning. And I forget who quoted this, but it's a great quote, and I love it to death.
is a lie will make it around the world twice before the truth gets up and even gets his shoes tied.
I've heard that. That is excellent. Yeah.
And that's what we're dealing with right now. So America, please get online, order a copy of that book, preferably not from Amazon because screw Amazon, but do whatever you got to do. Get a copy of that book, buy a copy for a friend, Miranda Devine, The Laptop from Hell. It's very easy to read. Educate yourself because James Comer, Jim Jordan, and many others, Byron Donalds from the state of Florida, who I love, the guy's awesome, they're bringing this to light. And the reason why the DOJ doesn't prosecute and the reason why we say, oh, well, we know the truth, they don't do anything about it, they don't do anything about it because majority of Americans don't take the time to educate themselves and make demands. You can only make demands on well-informed decisions when you have to be well-informed to do that. So inform yourself, get that book, and I'm telling you, you're going to see the Biden family, everything they pointed their finger at Trump and said, which was lies, they're responsible, and they're doing it right now.
They always do that. They always accuse you of what they're doing. It's just it's amazing the depth of evil.
You're absolutely right, and it's one. And this is no joke. You can look this up as well. That is Stalin 101. Whatever you are guilty of, blame your opponent of.
This call is from a federal prison.
So yeah, blame your opponent first, whatever you are guilty of, and when they have the media on their side, and these Marxist journalists such as Joy Reid and Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo and all these Keith Olbermann SOBs, when they have the media on their side that are able to dictate, manipulate the people into believing that what they see with their eyes is all there is to see, then a majority of these sheep will laugh in the face of anything that explains the bigger picture, and that's what they're doing right now. And it's up to we the people, to educate yourself on what's going on. And I'm telling you, that little short book from Miranda Devine will explain everything and arm you with the knowledge you need to have civilized, educated, constructive debates with people when you're out there on the election battlefield of 2023 to 2024.
I will check that book out. And sadly, some people's minds are made up. But if there's one whose mind we can change, that's one more warrior on the side of truth. Yeah.
Absolutely, and you're going to see, there's a group of people that are predominantly apolitical that maybe are frustrated with the whole Biden and Trump thing, and maybe have bought into the false narrative surrounding January 6th, bought into the false narratives around the laptop, and if you can have civilized conversations with them, welcome them over to our side with open arms, you'd be surprised how many people might come over and tip the scales.
Yep.
In the favor of America.
Yeah, civil dialogue, humility, it goes a long way. And like
yes,
you said,
yes.
Not just no violence, but no intimidation, no name calling, none of that stupid. It doesn't get us anywhere. Yeah.
Screaming at everyone, calling them racist, bigots, and fascist. Those people that have done that and partake in that behavior, they're actually running out of steam. People are tired of listening to it. They don't care anymore.
It burns you out real quick. Both the doer and the hearer.
Yeah, me in 2016, oh man, don't call me a racist. I'm not a racist. Me in 2023, you're a racist, so what? Who cares? Next. So it's ridiculous. You don't even start to hear it anymore. That's what we have to our advantage to see the difference. And I'll tell you something else that we need to start doing as conservatives, as right-leaning independents, as even centrist Republicans. We got to start knowing that there's a difference between liberals and leftists. Progressive leftists are a problem. They're a cancer, and they need to go. But there's some liberals out there that we may not agree on everything, but real liberals respect free speech, even if they don't agree with it. Real liberals will actually listen and change their mind and admit they're wrong. Now they're a last of a dying breed, but so are us proud conservative Americans. We're a last of a dying breed too, and progressive leftists are our common enemy. So learning to separate the two between a liberal and a leftist is something we need to work on as conservatives as well. But with that, I digress. Again, Miranda Devine's book, The Laptop from Hell, simple way to educate yourself on what's going on. They recently came out that the CIA
with their letter that was written on behalf of Joe Biden, the 51 intelligence agencies that Joe loved to cling to during the debate in 2020, we now see a CIA whistleblower that was saying, hey, we were coerced into do that by the Biden administration. So more and more is coming to light. Trump was right about everything when it comes to that laptop. And definitely, ladies and gentlemen, arm yourselves with knowledge, learn what's going on there, and support your Congresses. They're making a real attempt, I believe, to bring this to light to the American people.
Amen. Yes, they are.
All right, well, with that, I'm going to get ready to get off and have Rob the Lego Man Morris, the infamous himself. So if anybody out there would like to stay in touch with me along my journey, my sentencing is going to be June 1st. You can find me and get a hold of me by way of my amazing, supportive, and beautiful fiance on Truth Social or Twitter at Osprey_Sensei. I have some astounding legal fees piling up, and I might be challenging one of my charges in the appellate court, looking for an appellate attorney. If anybody out there would like to support me, you can do that at givesendgo.com/Barry Ramey, Ramey. I love all you guys. What you guys have done for us over this amount of time by standing out there and giving us this platform to be heard and talk, the moral structure we have grown from you out there standing for us has been immense. And please don't ever take lightly what you guys have done for us by being out there. We're very grateful, and you all are the epitome of real, true Americans. And I feel blessed to share this country with all of you. God bless you all.
God bless you, Barry. That feeling's coming right back at you.
Absolutely, sir. God bless the USA. Don't ever give up on this country, y'all. Take care.
Amen. Good night.
Cheers.
I just got word that David on Freedom Express Media, we're on his Rumble feed right now, and he's got, I think, 91 people watching on there. I don't know, David, if I can find you on YouTube or not, though. Somehow your subscription got deleted from my subscription list. So, but I found you on Rumble. There is a chat going on Rumble right now on Freedom Express Media. If you can find it on there, that's another outlet. So we got 200 people watching this right now that I know of, and there may be other people re-streaming this, or we'll watch it later. After we're done here, it will be posted. After a day, you'll be able to see the live chat that went on here. You got to subscribe to the channel to get in on the chat. The chat is half of it. The chat is where it's at on these live feeds. You can have dialogue with other people that are watching the same video. I'm kind of new to the whole YouTube thing, so it took me a while to figure all that out. But you get to, and there are mods on the chats that are also divulging information. As like Barry was talking about that, we had a mod putting on the info on the book by Miranda Devine.
Hey, how's it going? All right. This is your friendly neighborhood Lego man signing on. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
What's up, Robert?
Good to hear you.
Hey, good to hear you too. I'd like to start out, as anyone should, by thanking you guys, you incredible people out there. I'd like to thank Roy for volunteering to facilitate the vigil this evening. I would also like to thank Flag Waving Steve and Rebecca for live streaming tonight's event. And I'd also like to highlight Rebecca. Thank you so much for coming all the way out from Virginia to be here tonight. You're incredible.
You're welcome.
And I really appreciate the door that you open up to such a prideful and loyal demographic of Americans, proud, patriotic Americans, that without your help, we never would be able to speak to. I'd also like to thank Tina for her support and presence this evening. You're incredible. And additionally, I would like to thank Diane and Laura Kozak for their help with tonight's production and volunteering their time to make this happen. And finally, I would like to give a shout out to old Tammy for all the great work she has done in the past, week after week, for the Lewisburg Vigils. Thank you, Tammy, and my heart goes out to you. All right, so Let's do this. So the current book I'm reading is called The Marketing of Evil by David Kuplane. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, so I apologize if I screwed that up. But I highly recommend you guys get it and read it cover to cover. This was written in 2009, so I can only imagine what David Kuplane is thinking now. But the book is called The Marketing of Evil, and it's an excellently sobering expose of how our nation is being corrupted from within. Mostly from our deferment from our reliance on our Creator. There's a quote, actually, that I might not recite correctly, but it's by Abraham Lincoln, which I believe reads along the lines of, quote, "There is no nation on earth with the strength to invade our country and take a drink from the Ohio River. Should this nation die, it shall be by suicide," end quote. I do believe that this nation is on the decline because of our broken and absent relationship with God, implemented deliberately by the social and legal puppeteers of our land to sever all ties and understanding of our awesome God and the sacrifice his son, Jesus Christ, made on our behalf. David Kuplane, in the book Marketing of Evil, writes this in the second chapter of his book, and I quote, "So let me ask, in allowing the First Amendment to be changed from its original meaning to what it has become today, namely the prohibition of any acknowledgement of God or his laws inside the schools where most American children spend their youth, do you realize what we're doing? Similarly, in making any reference to God or biblical principles off limits for those we've entrusted with running this nation's government and charting its future course, do you realize what we're doing? We are deluding ourselves into believing there is some neutral ground between good and evil, and that this is where the government is supposed to be. But such a neutral ground, if such can even be said to exist, is in itself evil. When Jews are being gassed and cremated down the street, neutrality is not neutral, it's collaboration. When we realize that the Creator has stationed us on this earth in a battleground between a good kingdom and an evil one, and that our real choice in life is between obedience to divine love or disobedience, between honesty and dishonesty, nobility and shallowness, selflessness and selfishness, courage and cowardice, we see there really is no neutral ground. Thus, if government is not populated by godly, principled people, we are doomed to live as glorified serfs. Why? Because true religion and its fruits, love of truth and of one another, constitute a powerful force working against the natural tendency of power to corrupt. To put it in another way, without having a real relationship with the living God, men automatically become their own gods, lowercase g, end quote. That pathetic false god in turn owes his allegiance to dark forces he doesn't recognize nor comprehend. And if he's in a position of power, he is compelled to become a demagogue or a tyrant. What we're witnessing is the official, ever so gradual squeezing out of everything that's really precious to America. It's as though we're throwing away something so valuable that it goes almost beyond the ability of words to convey it. We're taking the finest life has to offer, like the most precious memories of our children, of their birth, of their accomplishments, and we're taking the sacrifices of our soldiers, of our patriots, our nation's martyrs, and we're junking them. Think of the Puritans who braved the 2-month sea voyage.
This call is from a federal prison.
An unknown land and lost 1/2 of their number during that first brutal winter. And the loyal patriot soldiers with George Washington at Valley Forge, shivering, shoeless, and miserable in the snow. Think of the deaths and sufferings of the millions of Americans lost or maimed in war during the last 2 centuries. Ponder as well the tremendous sacrifices of their families. Now think of the sustaining role God, faith, prayer, and the Bible had in the lives of all of these people. If we really have been convinced that our Constitution, conceived, written, believed in, fought for, and died for overwhelmingly by Christians and God-fearing people, requires that the Christian faith be taken out of government, then there's really no hope for us as a nation. But I don't think we've all bought that big lie. No. End quote. And if you ask me, that's where you, ladies and gentlemen, come in. It's the people of America. The last vestige of hope for life, liberty, and property lies within the American people. as it has all along, as our preamble to the Constitution clearly states, that I've referenced a couple of vigils ago. And as every God-fearing American has shown us with his or her selfless, sacrificial example. Speaking of sacrificial examples, I would like to read to you now a speech that every American should recognize and cherish. It was given just down the road from where I am currently held prisoner at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Forgive me if my voice cracks. I seldom finish our president's words without tears. 87 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, asking whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a resting place. Those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. Altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, cannot hollow this ground. The brave men living and dead who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they fought here, have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here rightly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation, under God, shall give a new birth of freedom. That government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. The Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln on November 19th, 1863. Ladies and gentlemen, every choice we make matters. The example we leave for our children matters, and our faith, hope, and love in one another and our Father in heaven matters. Please, on behalf of me, my fellow political prisoners, and those honored dead, please go make our ancestors proud with your next decision. Show our fathers that they didn't sacrifice everything they loved for nothing. My last 2 points that I'd like to bring up, speaking of Gettysburg, I wanted to include.
This call is from a federal prison.
Wanted to include that hallowed field with the help of my fantastic paint crew in a scene from Gettysburg in the mural that I've talked about every Legion, or every vigil, at the American Legion Post 150 in Petersburg, Pennsylvania. That scene of Gettysburg is one of the 10 in the mural left for you to enjoy. Remember how much has been paid on our behalf to be free. Please take some time to check out the mural, maybe even grab a beer and make a new friend at the Petersburg, Pennsylvania American Legion Post 150, just 2 hours away from the Lewisburg prison. Tell them the Lego Man sent you. But if that's too far of a drive for you, I get it, I understand. You can always check out the Legion and the mural that me and my team left there at the website called thegreatwarsmural.godaddysites.org. Thank you for your compassion, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for giving me the chance to regain my composure. Finally, I could use your prayers because in 11 days I gotta face the music. I will be sentenced. If anyone would like to come and support, I know that my poor mother would really appreciate it. She's been through a lot these last few years. I am getting sentenced on the 24th of May at 10 a.m. in the D.C. courthouse. But once again, if that's too far of a drive for you, I could use a prayer. I know that God listens to all of us, and the prayer of a righteous man is powerful indeed. Thank you for all of your enduring love and support. You guys have no idea how inspiring it is to know that there's people outside of our walls that help and want to spread the message. So thank you for all of you. It matters so much to us. You give us hope for a bright future. Remember that all it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing. And remember that you are not descended from fearful men. Stay tuned for the national anthem live from the Lewisburg prison. Wow. This has been your friendly neighborhood Lego man. Thank you for all your time and love. God bless you guys. I can't wait to see you in person. And thank you for being out there tonight.
This is Robert,
right? You're welcome, Robert. God bless you.
Thanks for that message.
Hey, thank you guys very much. God bless you too. We'll be preparing our voices in the interim. Get ready, because we got a beautiful song to sing you guys. All right, Lego man, signing off. God bless you guys.
God bless you too, Robert.
See ya.
All right.
That's what confuses me. The call comes in from D.C. It's a D.C.
Yeah, because it's federal.
It's federal. I didn't pick up a couple times this weekend.
Yeah.
But now I know. I thought it was a scam. Tell them that. Can I say a couple words?
Oh, sure. Sorry, Steve. Go right ahead.
All right, we're standing here with these guys who've been convicted, but on January 6th, there were 4 people that were murdered at the Capitol. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan, Kevin Greason, and Benjamin Phillips. And a police officer died the next day. His name was Brian Sicknick. At the time, the mainstream media told us that Brian Sicknick was hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. That's not true. Another lie that the mainstream media has told you. Brian Sicknick was suffering from a stroke, and a lot of the J6ers were trained medics. They made the police aware that this man was having symptoms of a stroke, and they did not render him aid. And the next day he died. So once again, you can see that the mainstream media lies to you. They had a funeral procession through D.C., and another lie. All right, we got another phone call.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, Daniel, hi.
Hey, how's everyone? Everyone hanging in?
Yes, how are you?
Good. All right. So I was the first, and it's gonna be the last call of the night. We're about to get locked down. Okay, guys?
Yes.
So all right. So I got a little something for you to read. I got a little something for me to read. I'm a little nervous. Excuse me. All right. You guys ready? All right. So at the Battle of Fort McHenry during the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key was a prisoner aboard a British naval vessel which was engaged in a violent combat by the American Fort's Watery Edge in the state of Maryland. As a prisoner, Key witnessed the long night's barrage of that fort being assaulted and bombed from every angle, slowly falling to pieces due to the relentless munitions of the invading British from twilight's last gleaming until the dawn began to return. As the sun started to re-illuminate the desecrated fort, the author of our national anthem was inspired to put pen to paper and record how, through the hellacious night's battle, because of the rocket's red glare and the bombs bursting in air, that was not only was the American flag remaining upright throughout the carnage, but at the dawn early light, our flag was still there.
So proudly we hail, as the twilight's last gleaming, whose first stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight was the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red
USA! 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 USA!
Let's go, Brandon. Don't forget that.
Woo!
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, Daniel.
All right, everybody. You have a great night. Thank you for supporting us. All your prayers, all your love.
You're welcome.
You know, the letters. Yeah, thank you for you know, everything. It goes a long way in here. You know, the commentary, everything that you guys do for us. We appreciate not being forgotten about, and you know, we love you all for that very, very much. Thank you so much for everything.
Daniel, it's Tina. I have a question. Are you going to be around next week?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay, because I have a letter. I have a letter to put out to you. So should I go ahead and send it? You think?
It's a good question. I would send it, and they might send it back. They did tell me to pack out the other day, but I did move my sentencing date to August, so I don't suspect that I should be leaving. But you know, there is some miscommunication sometimes with the marshals and the courts and everything. So I don't know. I shouldn't be leaving. So.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and send it then.
And good luck. I know you're running for school board, right?
Yes, I am. Tuesday's the big day.
Yeah, we gotta come out and support you, everybody.
Yes.
And anybody who's in the DC area, you know.
This call is from a federal prison.
We got Stuart Rhodes, we got Kelly Meggs, we got some really good patriots that are if you have an opportunity to go out there and support them when they get sentenced, guys. So they're great guys, and I don't know if they got a fair trial or not, but you know, they can use your support if you're available out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Daniel, I just asked that you guys would pray for me next 2 or 3 nights, that you know, God just really intervenes and I do make it on the ballot.
Absolutely. We absolutely will.
Thank you.
For everybody. Yeah, God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, God bless you too.
Keep praying. Yeah, keep praying, everybody. It's working. You know, we need to pray for those in authority.
That's right. Yep.
Amen.
All right.
Okay.
All right, have a good night.
Yep. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Until next week. Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye. I'll go ahead and send my letter then.
Yeah. All right.
You did it.
We did it again.
It worked.
I don't know why it kept cutting
Glory
out on the
to
national
God.
anthem.
It's done that before.
I don't know why it kept cutting out on the national anthem.
I don't know either.
It kept cutting in and out,
I
in
don't
and
know.
out.
Yeah,
I thought
the
maybe it's
one time
because
we
I'm
have a
singing too
problem.
loud, but then
No, that wasn't the reason.
I didn't think so. So
Well, like, share, and subscribe.
yes.
We'll be here next Saturday.
Yes, we will.
I think it worked better.
Every Saturday,
Still
God
some,
willing.
Good night, everyone.
Yes, good
200
night.
people watch it.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get better next week. We'll work on the details. Thank God Rebecca was here this week. Help us.
Thanks God.
Wouldn't happen without you, Rebecca.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, all you patriots. Spend the whole night with us. Thank you, Lala. Thank you, all. Mo.
Okay, Tina, before we log off the internet, let's get your laptop now and see if we can get
well,
that.
Andrew's,
I have
Andrew's
to
gonna send me
drive
the email
4
again.
hours back
you
to home.
Still want to try
so
it?
You can try it. That's up to you.
Going to
Okay,
stop.
well, why don't we try it? Because
say,
if I can get that
You all
acceptance
have
thing,
great night
then he can
happy
send
Mother's
me a letter
Day
or send
tomorrow.
me an email, or I can send him or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me roll my flag up and put it in the car, and then because my laptop's right there at your feet.
Oh, okay. Easy enough.